Hey everyone, it's that Spooky Gayla, and it's story time. So, if you don't know who I am, I love everything spooky and kooky and Halloween related. I do not know how Halloween is going to be this year because I had the craziest experience. So, last Saturday we went to At Home and we were looking around and I noticed there was Halloween, so I was all geeking out over it. And then I was gonna start recording, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be quick and easy. There's not that much stuff out. There's not that many people. I'm gonna do a quick run down the whole aisles and make sure there's not a whole bunch of Halloween stuff. I was informed that here in Springfield, Missouri, that there was gonna be one day during this week that they were gonna have a crew that entirely worked on the Halloween section, and then it should be done by the end of the week. So I'm gonna have my husband take me to At Home so we can take a look. I'm gonna double check, and I'm gonna call the store today about it. But back to story time. We get there. I'm excited. I'm geeking out. And as soon as it's starting to record, the siren goes off outside, and we get alerts on our phone that there's a tornado warning into effect till 10:30. We are informed by the store you could either leave or you could go to the bathroom. With me being pregnant, I did not feel safe being on the road because, I'll be honest, people in Springfield, they are not good drivers in the first place, and I could not imagine people panicking and trying to make it home safely. So we elected to go and hang out in the bathroom. I went into the ladies' room, he went into the men's room, and that is where I met a fellow ghoul, and she was looking for the tall witch this year that looks similar to the Cracker Barrel, and I hope she gets to find it, even though I don't think it was put out at all around the time, and I don't know when she's going to be back, and I don't have her number, or I can't say, hey, by the way, you can come back to Springfield, because I feel like she's 4 hours to the border of Arkansas, from what I remember her saying, and I should have got her number so I could call her, hey, like, just so you know, the witch is here, if you want to, come and pick up your witch. But, yeah. So we stayed in there from, I forget what time it started, till about 10:30, and all the ladies were very friendly. We made jokes the next time the store employees showed up, they'd probably see a new civilization, and we would be surrounded by the trash can where it was lit on fire, joking, of course. We would never do that. And we would have our own little party going on, and we'd be like, oh, okay. But all jokes aside, like, I got to geek out over Halloween regardless of recording it and then talking to people about it when I actually had someone to actually communicate. I did let her know where all I've seen Halloween stuff wise. And she was like, I'm gonna have to check all those stores out because Cracker Barrel has stuff, Michael's has stuff. I know Home Goods hasn't had stuff, but they were saying they were gonna get it from what my contact there said. So they just didn't know when. And I know that the Submarine stuff is out at Walmart, even though I didn't see the blankets yet, but I'd seen the pillows, and the pillows got picked over by the spooky ghouls. I know there's a lot of spooky ghouls here in Springfield. They may not be out and about 24/7, but you know they're there because everything's picked over by the time you get there. It was the same way when we went to Michael's. There was a whole bunch of tarot stuff, and they were like, yeah, we put it all out, and then all these spooky people came in, and they took the tarot card Halloween line. They went to extremes with that, and they also said that the traditional vintage style Halloween carnival thing was also being picked over, which I did. They had more stuff in the back, so they just restocked it. But the tarot card stuff, I don't think Michaels was thinking was going to be a big success, so they didn't send as many to this store. I know I have another Michaels I gotta go to that's near my home because I went to the ones across town because it makes more sense. And so I'm gonna check out that Michaels because usually they sometimes get their stuff in about before July, but they usually don't put it out till August, and I don't understand because by the time they put their stuff out, the other store already has like their second line out. But yeah, once the tornado sirens was no longer active, and they said at 10:30 we could leave. We were told we could, continue to do what we were wanting to do, or we could leave. So I got my content, and that will be posted today of it. I'm very excited, even with the little stuff that we did get. But that being said, some spooky people are gonna be very excited this year. I think the stores have heard our pleas and our cries of no pink Halloween stuff. I say that, but then I'm pretty sure Home Goods is going to be having a lot of spooky stuff. But what are you going to do? I'm very excited. Me yawning, tell you that I'm not. I'm just pregnant, 34 weeks. We're getting there. Monday I'll be 35, and then once we reach 37 weeks, it's whenever baby decides to come. I'm just ready. But this video isn't about the baby or me or anything. It's about the spookiness that I feel like Halloween's going to be this year. Halloween is supposed to be on a Saturday, so I'm hoping that Halloween this year is more exciting and more people are out this year. I've been talking to my husband about getting a few bags of candy because we're going to have a newborn, and there's really no point in taking our newborn trick-or-treating. So I'm thinking about giving candy out this year, and maybe next year. But we are buying a costume for the baby for Halloween, and I'm excited about that. But we're I'm thinking for the first few years, we're gonna just give out candy to the neighborhood kids, and then once the baby's old enough to start having candy themselves, we will take them trick or treating. But that's gonna be fun. Have a spooky day. Keep being spooky, and ghouls and goblins, please, 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 let's not fight over stuff this year. I can't believe that there was fights over a witch last year, and I am hoping I don't hear anything insane like that this year. Keep it spooky.